There are certain cars that don't just disappear from showrooms. They disappear from people's minds. Not because they were bad, not because they were ugly, but because the world simply moved on without them. And today, I want to talk about one of the most shocking examples of that, a luxury sedan that once carried presidents, CEOs, and celebrities, and is now sitting on used car websites for less than the price of a basic economy hatchback. We're talking about a car that, on paper, should not be this cheap. A car that offers real luxury, real comfort, real presence. A car that, if it wore a German badge, would still cost you $40,000 to $50,000 today. But instead, you can find one for under 10 grand. And almost nobody is talking about it. This is the story of a car that failed. Not because it was bad, but because it arrived at the wrong time, in the wrong world, with the wrong reputation. And somehow, that failure is exactly what makes it one of the smartest used car buys in America right now. For decades, this car represented American luxury. It was the symbol of success. The kind of vehicle you bought when you finally made it. It was long, wide, quiet, and unapologetically comfortable. This wasn't a car built for lap times or drifting or racing. It was built for floating down highways, shutting out the noise of the world, and making you feel important just sitting inside it. But then the world changed. SUVs took over. Crossovers replaced sedans. People wanted higher driving positions, more aggressive styling, more tech, more screens, more hype. And suddenly, luxury sedans weren't cool anymore. They were seen as boring, old-fashioned, something your dad or your grandfather would drive. So when this legendary sedan returned in modern form, almost nobody cared. That's the real tragedy. Because when this car came back, it was actually really good, incredibly good, quiet, beautiful, comfortable, smooth, and built better than most people ever realized. But by then, the damage was already done. The brand's reputation had faded, the market had shifted, and even though this car delivered everything it promised, it simply couldn't fight against the cultural wave that had already buried sedans. Sales were low, tension was non-existent, and within just a few years, it was gone again. But here's the twist. Failure in the new car market often creates insane value in the used market, and that's exactly what happened here. Right now, you can open any major used car website and find examples of this luxury sedan for $7,000, $8,000, $9,000. Some with over 100,000 miles. Some with less than 50,000 miles. Some fully loaded with features that still feel modern even in 22.6. To put that in perspective, that's less than the price of a new smartphone and a cheap used motorcycle combined. Yet, you're getting heated seats, ventilated seats, premium leather, adaptive headlights, digital displays, ambient lighting, advanced safety tech, and a ride quality that makes most budget cars feel like shopping carts. So how did this happen? It starts with the brand. For years, this manufacturer struggled with identity. They wanted to compete with European luxury, but never fully committed. They used confusing model names. Their designs were inconsistent, and their reputation for reliability wasn't exactly stellar either. So, even when they finally built something genuinely impressive, people were already emotionally checked out. No trust, no excitement, no loyalty. That's the curse of branding. Once you lose the public, it's nearly impossible to win them back. And that's why this car failed. Not because it was bad, but because nobody wanted to give it another chance. Now let's talk about what actually makes this car such a hidden gem. First, the engine. Most people assume luxury sedans are unreliable money pits. Twin turbos, complicated electronics, expensive parts, nightmare maintenance, and to be fair, that's true for many of them. But this particular car offered something incredibly rare in the luxury world. A naturally aspirated V6. No turbos, no superchargers, no exotic engineering. Just a big, simple, proven engine design that's been used across multiple vehicles for years. It's the kind of engine mechanics love, the kind that quietly runs for hundreds of thousands of miles, the kind that doesn't demand constant attention or expensive repairs. This engine has a reputation for reaching 250,000 to 300,000 miles when properly maintained, and it's paired with a traditional automatic transmission that's also known for long-term durability. In other words, it's boring. And boring is exactly what you want when you're buying a used luxury car. Because boring means predictable. Boring means reliable. Boring means you're not waking up to dashboard warning lights every month. Now, combine that reliability with luxury, and you start to see why this car makes absolutely no sense at its current price. Step inside one of these, and it immediately feels more expansive than it is. Soft leather everywhere. Real metal accents. Thick doors that close with a satisfying thud. Ambient lighting that makes night driving feel cinematic. seats that feel like living room furniture, and enough legroom in the back to cross entire countries without feeling cramped. This isn't fake luxury. This isn't plastic pretending to be premium. This is genuine comfort. And the craziest part? You don't even need the top trim. Even the basic versions of this car come loaded with features that were considered high-end just a few years ago. Heated seats, digital gauges, touchscreen infotainment, premium audio, adaptive cruise control, lane assist, blind spot monitoring. Features people pay tens of thousands extra for today. Yet here, they're included in a car that costs less than most used economy sedans. And then there's the ride. This is where the car truly shines. It doesn't try to be sporty. It doesn't pretend to be a race car. It doesn't fight physics. Instead, it leans into what luxury sedans were always meant to be: smooth, quiet, and effortless. The suspension absorbs bumps like they barely exist. Road noise is muted. Wind noise is almost non-existent. Even at highway speeds, the cabin feels calm and isolated from the outside world. It's the kind of ride that makes long trips feel shorter. The kind that makes traffic less stressful. The kind that makes you arrive feeling relaxed instead of exhausted. And in today's world of stiff, sporty crossovers with massive wheels and low-profile tires, that comfort feels almost revolutionary. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. Why is nobody buying these? The answer is simple: image. Sedans lost their cultural relevance. People want SUVs. They want height. They want rugged, even if they never leave paved roads. They want the feeling of adventure, not the reality of comfort. And brands know this. That's why nearly every manufacturer abandoned sedans in favor of CROSSOV, ERS. So this car became a victim of timing. If it had been released 10 years earlier, it would have been a massive success. If it had been branded differently, it might have survived. If people hadn't already lost faith in the brand, it could have been saved. But none of that happened. Instead, it quietly disappeared, leaving behind one of the biggest bargains that the used car market has ever sent. And that's exactly why it's so fascinating. Because value isn't about hype. It's about what you get for your money. And this car gives you more than almost anything else at its price point. For under $10,000, you get a large luxury sedan, a proven, reliable engine, high-end interior materials, modern safety, tech, exceptional ride quality, low maintenance costs, and a design that still looks elegant years later. Name another car that offers all of that. For the same price, you really can't. Most cars under $10,000 are either tiny, outdated, uncomfortable, unreliable, or all of the above. They feel cheap, they drive poorly, they make you compromise on everything. This car makes you compromise on almost nothing. And that's what makes it special. It's not exciting, it's not flashy, it won't impress teenagers on social media, but it will quietly outperform expectations. Every single day you own it, it's the kind of car you appreciate more the longer you have it. The kind you grow attached to, the kind you look back on and think, I can't believe I got this for that price. And that's the real irony. This car failed because nobody wanted it. Now it's winning because nobody wants it, which means the few people who actually understand what it offers get one of the best deals in the entire automotive world. So here's the real question. Do you want hype or do you want value? Because if you care more about comfort than clout, more about quality than image, more about ownership than approval, then this failed luxury sedan might be one of the smartest automotive decisions you can make in 2026. And the saddest part, most people will never realize it.